Hey folks, it's Kikoskia here with some more Hearthstone, and not with the Tavern Brawl but I thought we'd be having this week. With the Year of the Dragon and Rise of Shadows so close to release, I thought that we'd be playing a Brawl with pre-built decks, using some of the new cards to show off the various archetypes that the developers think we'll be using in the upcoming expansion. But no! Instead we're playing Randomonium! I heard you like random things, so we put loads of random things in a pot, put it in a random location, and then threw it at you in random quantities. That's pretty much what this Brawl's all about. An encounter at the crossroads, under a mana storm. Choose a class, get random cards. Each turn, your card's costs are randomized. You can lose in the opening turn because you didn't get good cards. You can also win in the opening turn because you got a 10 mana legendary that you were able to play on turn 1. Everything's to play for because you never know what the next turn will bring. There is one thing that does tie us in with the next expansion, and that is that your first victory gets you a Rise of Shadows card pack, and I want that. So let's see what I can do with Warlock, because I have a daily to win a match as a Warlock, and picking that class is pretty much the same as picking any other class. Its hero power is pretty good for getting cards that may or may not be discounted, but it may also be a serious drawback, as you'll see soon enough.
Gul'dan versus Gul'dan.
It seems that my opponent had the same line of thinking, because they're also a Warlock. Now, I want to get rid of the Gluttonous Ooze and my Jungle Panther because they are very low cost. Ideally, I want very high cost cards, and I hope that they will be significantly reduced. 2 5 mana cards and a 10 mana card, not bad. The Frost Giant is pretty good because it synergizes with my hero power, if nothing else. My opponent does have the coin, which can be a huge boon in this Brawl. Hello. That's not a bad card to see, and if I'd have had the coin, I'd have been able to have played Mukla's Champion. But I wouldn't have had any minions to buff with my Inspire mechanic card. There's an anti-Keelbot on turn 1. But I have a way to get rid of that using Feeding Time. 3 damage, 3 1/1s, and the board is mine. At least for now. Who knows what the future may bring. If I'm really lucky, this will be 1 mana next turn, and I'll be able to start seriously buffing all of these 1/1s. And what do you know? That happened. Let's go. We'll hero power, make all of these 2/2s, and hit for 6 damage. My opponent is definitely going to want to get rid of that 4/3. Because if my opponent doesn't, they'll become 3/3s. Now what do you have? You have a lot of cards, which means there could be a lot of discounts. There could be a Twisting Nether. Or a Demon Bolt. A Demon Bolt for 1. And a Shadow Bolt for 1. And then coining something else out for 2. Another Shadow Bolt. That is a lot of removal. And here is a Void Lord. And I think I'll sense demons. I have another Void Lord and a Flame Imp. And I think out of the minions that are 1, I'll play the Jungle Panther. And hit you for 2. This is a pretty decent hand. I even have some removal in the form of Dark Bomb. Not that it's very good removal. There's Mogor the Ogre. That means that I'm in a bit of bother, because Mogor the Ogre, all minions have a 50% chance to attack the wrong enemy. Now let's see if I can get rid of Mogor. No! Can I hit here? Yes! Can I hit here? Yes! Which means I can now do that. And then play another Void Lord. Do you see how this Brawl could possibly be unfair? I can. Ooh, Light Bomb. That could be really useful just in case my opponent manages to get the board from me. You may be wondering, how is that even possible? For all I know, his hand could have 2 1-mana Twisting Nethers, and then an Onyxia for 3. It's entirely possible. Not likely that he has 2 of that card, because his deck is randomized, but there is a 1-mana 6/8. Now, he could have a Shadow Flame and get rid of a lot of the power on my board. There's a Siphon Soul, which gives me some 1/3s. And it's just a shame, but I cannot get this killed. Otherwise, that 6/3 would not be a problem. We have 1, 2, 3, 7, 10, 12. We don't have lethal yet. What we do have, though, is a 0-mana 8/8. And I am going to trade to get rid of this. There we go. Trading here, and here, and here. And then we will do this. And I could actually make this fairly big by playing the Flame Imp. But I think I'm going to save my minions. I definitely want to save them. I could combine Voodoo Doll with Light Bomb to get rid of something really big, but that could potentially be really expensive. This is a pretty nice minion to see, if I get any Death Rattle cards. It does confirm, for sure, that it is a wild Brawl. There are some 1/3s for me, a Summoning Portal that I really want to get rid of, and a Curse of Weakness. I could actually get rid of that instead without taking any damage to my minions, and I'm gonna do that. It's an Echo card, which means I can just keep playing it for as long as I have mana. Do this to get rid of that. That is a nice minion to see for next turn. For now, I'm going to keep all of my cards here and give myself a lot of options. And a little bit of power to fall back on, just in case this is all cleared.
Unleash me.
There's a Despicable Dreadlord.
You'll never see
And a Cloak Scale Chemist. And a Silverware Golem. We do want to clear here. We could also Moat Lurker, just to get rid of the Despicable Dreadlord. But to start with, Archibald Chemist and see what we get. Ooh, is that enough? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That'll do. There we go. A lot of damage right there. And that's well played. I'm surprised that I won that first match. Usually I lose a lot in this kind of brawl before I win. But not this time. And there is my pack, ready to be opened when the expansion comes out next week. And I also played 2 demons to my Demon Daily. Do we go with Warlock again? I think I've showed off what Warlock's good at. I think we're going to play some Hunter now. Why not? Hunter has some really nifty cards. Maybe I'll get some of them, or maybe I won't. Let's find out.
Rexar versus Garrosh.
We are up against a warrior, and we have the Shaky Zip Gunner. Now that is a dose of nostalgia right there. I loved playing the Shaky Zip Gunner in my decks when that was in Standard. This, however, is not the greatest hand.
Greetings,
I suppose I'll play my 1-drop. And it's probably never going to attack because I don't have a spell. You have a spell. You have a taunt, to be exact. That one. I do have a... ooh. I have some pretty decent plays, though. Furious at him. And a Shaky Zip Gunner. Even with that 2/4 just sat there doing nothing, I still have a decent board. That said, he could have a Brawl for 3 mana.
I must remain hidden.
Or Rathian. Rathian only drew him one card though. Hello, Boom Master Flark. How are you? You know what? I think I'm going to play you even though we'll get one less bomb. That's a pretty powerful board. Even if he manages to brawl everything away, that is still 6 damage he's going to take, and one of my minions is going to be buffed. +2/+2. Rotten Apple Bomb. That is an execute at full cost. But I can still... Ooh. I can still make something of what I've got. Like that. And buff one of my minions. That minion is next, Flark. Go get him. Oh wait, you already did. Your turn. Note that this 2/4 still hasn't done anything yet. Knowing my luck, it's going to win the Brawl. Well, there goes one minion. And there is Refarm. That's kind of bad. Refarm is really bad. That is a really powerful 10 mana spell. But I just got the raid leader. This minion still can't attack though. Now I want to trade so that I get as many of these goblin bombs not killed as possible. I want to keep them alive because they are still a substantial threat. And I actually want to play the Junk Bot. The Junk Bot synergizes excellently with all of these mechs here. I don't know how I'm managing to get synergy. You're going to kill the 2/5. And then you're going to bash the entirely useless 2-cost minion. And then you're going to play Nat Pagel. You're presenting me with a lot of targets. And I probably want to leave Nat Pagel alive. And play Gazrilla. Gazrilla, whenever it takes damage, doubles its attack. I'm going to get rid of this. And deal 6 damage to you in the process. And then I'll hit Nat Pagel. Nat Pagel got one. Probably a very good one too. And then it's Deathwing. And then maybe my Grand Archivist can get Deadly Shot. Malkarok! A 2/2 weapon that will keep coming back. That's quite daunting. Goodbye, Raid Leader. And now that's a 3/1 weapon. Suddenly things aren't looking so good for me. In a rage, on Nat Pagel, he's angry! Now, I don't have a weapon equipped, so I think my best bet here is to play the Grand Archivist. And then I think I'm going to go face here. I could trade, but trading doesn't get me closer to killing my opponent. What spells do I have?
I try this.
Goblin Prank! Please not one of mine. Well, it's still alive. In fact, that didn't do anything. I thought that might have done something, but maybe because the turn had already ended, the effect didn't really work. Right, I don't have my hero power anymore, but then neither does my opponent. I have more damage than he does, though. He does have that weapon back, however. What are you going to do? I would not recommend hitting Gazrilla. Ooh, Scavenging Hyena. I actually think right now just playing lots of things is quite good. So we'll do that. We're just providing lots of targets so that it's difficult for my opponent to get rid of everything. He can hero power to get himself out of lethal range, but all I need is something to damage Gazrilla. I'm still not trading. I don't want him to be able to well, that's it. I was about to say I don't want him to execute for free, and I lose my most powerful minion. There's another win. Randomness is certainly working to my benefit, but will it work to my benefit when I play Shaman? Probably not. I imagine this is the class that I'm going to get a loss with. But who can say? It's all random. It's all to play for. Let's see what I get. Alakia turn 1.
Morgul versus Brawl.
Great minds think alike, eh, opponent? Ooh, evolve. Gazlo, not so good. Mojo Master Zihi, not bad, but I don't want my opponent to be bumped up to 6 mana anytime soon. So I will just keep the evolve. This is not the best opening hand, but I could make something of it. I probably won't be able to. Hello! How are you? Are you well? You probably have a fantastic hand that's going to obliterate me. You actually have something to play on turn 1. That's not good! That's really bad. And that is at 5 mana, and nothing else got cheaper. I don't think I have a play. It's your turn. Where the last matches were extremely generous to me, this one is proving how ungenerous this can be. And there's 5 damage, and that minion is about to become a lot more dangerous. And there it goes. It's a 5/6. Now I could coin out Soggoth the Slitherer, but all it would do is absorb a little bit of damage. That said, that's kind of what I need right now. This is one of the minions that I really thought I would be crafting at some point when this expansion was in Standard, but I never got round to it. Maybe it's one I should craft sometime in the future. It's just such a really difficult minion to get rid of.
Feel the power.
That's one way to get rid of it, though. And that hit my face, which is the place you wanted it to hit. So then I take another 5 damage, and that now becomes a 6/3. Now, I don't have enough minions that I can get the Nesting Rock activated. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to play the Scarab Egg and the Wicked Witch Doctor. That's pretty much all I can do right now. I don't have the really impactful minions that my opponent does. But I have won twice, and I'm more than happy with having those 2 wins. You have a lot of cards, and I imagine a lot of choices in front of you. And all of them are probably better than what I've got. Well, there goes that minion. And you're predictably going to go face because you have a lot of damage. You have even more damage now! In fact, if I don't have a way to block all of this, I'm pretty much done. But that card that's on the top of my deck could be the solution to all my problems. It could be Deathwing. It's not Deathwing. But it might still help. Let us Master of Evolution this.
I don't need any of you.
Then we're going to evolve, which made everything a little worse, and then we'll Nesting Rock. We are not technically dead. My opponent has to trade in 2 of his minions to get through his taunt. Any damage boost will seal my doom. This hand really does not scream that we're going to win, though. 2 cards that really don't have much impact.
I'm not
That's not a nice thing to see. You're going to trade that, and then kapow! I'm at 2. Now, what do I get? No discounts whatsoever. But we might get a taunt totem. No, we did not. And with that, it's pretty much over. I can't stop this damage from hitting my face, but we did get a Murloc Tiny Fin. Aha! Surrender! I'm not surprised that you didn't surrender. Well played. 2 wins, 1 loss. Not bad at all. I didn't even get to hit my opponent once. Sometimes that happens, and in Randomonium, it can happen a lot. And with that, that is a few matches of Randomonium. Not the brawl that I thought it would be, but I did pretty well in it. I would have much preferred it to have been something that tied in more closely to Rise of Shadows and the Year of the Dragon. It would have been neat to have just seen a smattering of the cards that are coming up in Standard in the decks, just to change things up, but it was not to be. But when we come back next time, folks, Rise of Shadows will indeed have come out. I'm not sure if I want to do a video opening up the various packs that I have, mainly because there aren't that many of them. I'll be lucky if I have enough gold for 50 card packs by the time the expansion comes out. If you do want to see that, don't hesitate to let me know. I wouldn't mind recording it. And I'll try my best to make a deck or two that incorporates the new cards that I get, and see how it does. It's very likely it's going to do dreadfully, because when a new year in Hearthstone comes out, I have no idea what kind of thing to build. I tend to tweak one of the decks that I have a little bit, well, as much as I can to keep the theme the same. Quite a few of the cards that are in them will probably be in Wild though, which makes it rather difficult. But that's the joy of a new year in Hearthstone coming out. Everything changes, and you need to change with it. And so, I'll catch you next time, folks, and I'll see you then. Later. When you next see me, it'll be the Year of the Dragon.